But in the end, I honestly feel bad for Dominic Szoboszlai. And he said, now he gets a 3-game ban. Just give the goal. Don't give the red card. Simple. That's how I'm saying that. And also said, but I think it's the rules. It's just how it is. So there was no way that would have counted. So some people say it was a bad time for Ryan Cherki. Maybe the goal would have counted for the French international. Some say it would have been Haaland's goal because if the Hungarian, talk about Dominic Szoboszlai, had not stepped in to draw his jerseys down, maybe, just maybe, it would have been Haaland because he was having the upper power on the chase. And also, we told you how the Premier League is looking right now. But I need to tell you this one because this is like the most of them all. If you look at the Premier League and the way it's going, that game has shown a lot of pressure. That game shows that the pressure is mounted so much on Arsenal. That game shows that Arsenal need to still up their game. They can't be sleeping at this time around. Zubimendi scored, Gyökeres from the bench, and they won Sunderland. And the first results affected them to this stage. So I must say, Arsenal, if you're an Arsenal fan, you should be praying because the side who is coming, who's chasing, are no look side, are no mess side. It's about Manchester City. But let's move elsewhere and talk about something else in the La Liga ES Sports, where we did see Real Madrid, Alvaro Carreras, and Kylian Mbappe goals earning. Real Madrid battling to nil win to Valencia on Sunday to close the gap to La Liga leaders Barcelona to 1 point. After the Spanish Championship have been beaten by Mallorca, or they were beaten, the champions had beaten Mallorca on Saturday. Alvaro Arbelo's side eked out of a tight victory and got the result right there at the Mestalla to keep the pressure on the arch rivals. Missing suspended forward Vinicius Junior, and also los Blancos lacked some sparkle because the Brazilian was not in the game. But then they did just enough to claim 3 points on that game. Alexander Arnold, talk about England international, made his return from injury as substitute in the second half of the Madrid victory. Arbeloa, also his side, had the better chances in the first half, but failed to create the danger on consistent basis in a gritty encounter. Alagoles shot deflected narrowly wide, while Valencia's top pass towards Mskrycki saved well with the legs from Mbappe's fierce rival's drive. Now, Madrid right back David Jimenez from the club side, youth level, academy player could say, came closest to scoring after French superstar Mbappe teed him up, but the Macedonian goalkeeper denied him too. Midway through the second half, Carreras conjured a goal out of nothing to give Real Madrid the lead, drifting inside from the left to the box. The defender used the weaker foot, talking about the right side, to strike the ball inside Adrimovski's near post. Valencia might have leveled, but Lucas Pedrana's effort on the stretch beat Thibaut Courtois and climbed the post. Arbeloa brought in Alexander Arnold for his first appearance since early December following the tire injury as Real Madrid looked to close out the game. They eventually secured 3 points in stoppage time as Brahim Diaz teed up La Liga top scorer Kylian Mbappe, who finished calmly for his 23rd goal in the competition this season. Valencia fans also, some of whom had waved white handkerchiefs during the match in protest at the club situation, headed in the exit with lost chase 17 to 1 point above the drop zone. So it's about Real Madrid. The chase continues. La Liga ES Sports looks quite interesting every day, just as your folks. We see how it's running. Real Madrid chasing Barcelona, Football Club Barcelona, who also knows there's a high pressure surmounted on them. It's the competition of football. We also did see elsewhere where Ademola Lookman, Nigerian international player, his side lost to Real Betis, and well-deserved result for the Anthony side because they lost the Copa del Rey game to Ademola Lookman, Atletico de Madrid, and yesterday it went well for the Real Betis side away from home, getting that maximum order they deserve for themselves. But just to let you know, the Real Madrid side are second, playing second fiddle, and just 1 point adrift. Football Club Barcelona, who has a flick, has also done so well for his team. Now, talking about Barcelona, I must tell you the way it goes right now. Hansi Flick was stunned when Marcus Rashford went down, grabbing his knee before, thankfully it turned out to be just a mere case. So good to see that Rashford is not ruled out for more games to come for the side. Now we shift attention. Let's talk about this one, Nigeria. To be exact, this is what it is about Super Falconets, you could call them. The Falconets, they are in the news. Nigerian Falconets on Saturday secured a slim first-leg advantage in the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifier, defeating Senegal 1-0 at the MKO Abiola Sports Arena at Abeokuta, Ogun State. Both teams showed determination, but neither could find a breakthrough before the interval, leaving the score at 0-0 at halftime. Substitute Candace Ifeanyi scored a decisive goal in the second half, heading home from a corner kick in the 50th minute to separate both sides. She came close to doubling the advantage in the 66th minute, but the Senegalese goalkeeper stretched full length to push her efforts away. The Falconets maintained their lead through discipline, defending and also control play, with head coach Moses Aduku's second half substitution helping the team sustain momentum and then see out the encounter. Nigeria striker Janet Akonwere was sent off, or forced off rather, in the first half due to an injury, while Ifeanyi was later named player of the match in her match-winning performance. We tell you the return leg of this fixture is scheduled for February 14 in Senegal that Saturday, where Nigeria will seek a consolidated result, taking the advantage and advancing to the next round about the Falconets. So we wish them all of the best at the game played right here in Nigeria. So the next game we played away from home, and I'm believing our girls, our ladies are good to go. They look like the next big team. Anytime it's a football world for the women category, nobody is really under pressure. We don't fear. We feel like we are the best side on the African continent and African shows talking about female football. No disrespect to the rest of the nation, but you know what the Falcons have built. So you talk about the Falconets, it's a connection linked up. So I believe Moses Adugus also have to follow the step that the Falcons are really taking. But now let's get to case point, the top point quickly on the show today. This one is very, very contractual. This one is very synonymous. This one is very interesting to know. This one is good to say. Some say he's the biggest name in Nigerian football at this point in time. Some said he's just so proud. He's got pride. He needs to lace, he needs to calm down. A lot of people are saying a lot of words about one man, Super Eagles striker, star player Victor Osimhen, who has now publicly called on the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, to offer head coach Chelle a long-term contract. And you know, Victor Osimhen served as assistant captain during the Nations Cup, cited the team bronze medal achieved by Chelle. And then Osimhen has praised the Franco-Malian tactician plans and balanced approach technically and intelligence, and the man management, the skills, noting that Chelle's ability to foster unity and motivation within the squad. Victor Osimhen expressed optimism about the team's future with his current talent pool and also emerging as top player. Now on the show today, we should tell you some key points so you can have this more like a take-home about what Victor Osimhen is really trying to do and what he's trying to portray right now for the Nigerian side. Now fans, you keep a date. Fans are also eager, they are also worried. Fans and players are also asking questions and wanted to say that this one goes their very way. But you want to know more about the story, we'll go on a break. When we return, the show continues. Why? Why?
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is Africa News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Voice of the People, you can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish I could.
Yeah, so welcome back from that quick break. Let's tell you more about the Super Eagles of Nigeria and what just transpired out there. Now, we move into this very phase now. The Super Eagles, without a talkback, is what people are looking at this point in time. Now, what is the key point? Fans and players seek stability and clear long-term vision for the national team development. Number two, consistent leadership could improve team performance and then attract better sponsorship and then investment. Number three right now, the coach gains security to implement his philosophy while the NFF faces a critical contract decision. Number four, the public endorsement reflects a player's-led desire for managerial continuity over frequent changes. And then number five, the timing follows a modestly successful tournament, framing continuity, and then as part of the greater achievement. Osimhen's endorsement places the decision for managerial stability, and then this is good to see. Can I tell you, let's really talk about it so you understand what I'm saying. Everyone needs to talk about Eric Chelle. Everybody needs to be talking about Eric Chelle. You know why? He has shown us the quality. He has shown us that he's good to go. He has shown us that you understand how Nigerian football should go. If you follow Nigerian football very well, you will understand that we barely score goals. With Pesero, last Nations Cup before the recent concluded one, 2023, you know, because we were just getting the results. We're not dominating teams. We're not playing so well. And you see Super Eagles, Giant of Africa, dominating of the games. This is what the Franco-Malian has brought now. So why is Eric Chelle's talk still a major talk point every time on the show? This time is now that big that the Super Eagles international striker, Big Victor Osimhen, is now urging the Nigerian Football Federation that please let this man stay on the job, give him a contract. Why are we even waiting? Why are we negotiating? Why are we talking about this? With what he did the last time, the Nations Cup in Morocco, winning the bronze medal for the team, and that should just give him that yardstick to say, yes, I am the coach of the national team. So why are we still waiting? Why is people still talking about this? Why does the Nigerian Football Federation like to be in the news? You don't wait until something happens before you know what you want. It's more like you knew this man was good enough for the job. You gave him the job. You're paying him. And at some point, you still owe him. Now the job is done. National teams are calling. I wanted to sign a coach. But you are also trying to keep him. Now, because of his love, like Afis Ogunbanjo, I recall, who played a pivotal role right here on the show on Saturday. Afis Ogunbanjo, also a host here, he said something that struck my mind, and that happens to be true. He said this Nigerian Football Federation are also playing with the intelligence of Eric Chelle because they know he loves the Super Eagles. Because he loves the national team, that's why we are seeing all of this talk point. If he didn't do so well, let him go. Now you're seeing that the coach loves the team. He wants to stay. He wants to stay. He likes to stay. He wishes to stay more. But make him happy. What rises passion? What drives passion? Money works like that. $55,000 US. We should be thinking of increasing his salary, his wages, make him feel comfortable. How many times are we going to see a manager, a foreign manager that says, I want to be based in Nigeria? This man has an apartment in Abuja. They are making him feel comfortable, but they are not making him feel comfortable. So in one way, it's more like a 50-50 thing. The money is not even big enough to say. They owe him, and he had a very decent tournament. Why are we still waiting? Should we give him a contract? Yes, of course, we should have been thinking about it. Now, it's that big that the vice captain of the national team, Victor Osimhen, had to come out to say, please, I'm urging you, Federation, please do it. Now, if they do it, tomorrow someone will say they are listening to Victor Osimhen. They should have done it even before people keep talking. So this is a federation that I just sometimes think, is it that they don't even know what they want? Is it that when they see what they want, they don't recognize it? Why are we having cases in the Nigerian football setup all of the time? Knowing fully well that this is the biggest brand, and yet they still make us talk about this. We say it all the time, the media will not sleep until things are right with the NFF. It's not no news, transparency-wise, they are not 100%. Corruption is everywhere, we see it. The game is being run like political affair. Administrative-wise is so poor. Players' old bonuses till alarm is being raised and then you can start. You know, it doesn't make sense, that's the truth. Let's be factual, let's even say the way it is. If it's white, it's white. If it's black, it's black. They might not be friends to what I'm saying, but we need to keep talking about these bodies till they make things right. I would have said a national team that's well organized, I would say it. What you need to do is not, you don't even think about it. Just give him the job. He has done well. See, we lost against the national side, Morocco, the best playing side in Africa. Regardless of Senegal winning, no disrespect, but they are the best playing side. They got that fluidity, they got the flair, they have what it takes to run games. And we got off not on the 90 minutes, but on penalty shootout. We saw it. Goal scoring, how many goals? 14 in a single. How many national side did that? Even the Super Eagles record, you can see they broke some records there. Playing side, dominating wise, conceding, and then he went out to the round of 16 and said, we're not conceding anymore. Mozambique 4-0, Algeria 2-0. Got teams and smashed them off. We started enjoying Super Eagles like, this is the playing side. This is the dominating team we want to see. Under one man. And the players love this coach. They are giving him his they're 100. You can see for yourself. They love the coach. So why is the Nigerian Football Federation making this a top point, holding this one, and then are they having a rethink? Obviously, you can say they don't know what they want until they don't know the value they have actually until they lose it. But let's also talk about one Super Eagles player who happens to be in trouble at this point in time. You might not like the news, but that's just what it is. I call it trouble. And it's some of those disadvantage of leaving your club side and going for the national team call-up. But I wonder why this is a top point. He had a very decent AFCON tournament. I'm talking about no other name, but Calvin Bassey. His father has been in the news. He wants to get back to his son. But Calvin Bassey, let's quickly talk about this. Now, before the AFCON 2025, Calvin Bassey played 1,358 minutes in the Premier League for Fulham. Despite, being one of the starter players at the AFCON, he has played just 4 minutes in 3 matches since the tournament ended. That's the news. So I call it a very big trouble because he had a very decent tournament. If we had gone to the final, he would have been one of the best players, even though we saw his high rate. But you need to know that the Super Eagles defender, Calvin Bassey, has faced growing scrutiny from Nigerian fans and pundits after failing to reclaim his starting spot at Fulham, following the return to the club side in the Premier League. Also, Bassey was a stand-up performer for Nigeria during the tournament, delivering a commanding display, including a monumental showing in the semi-final against host Morocco. Many expected the 26-year-old to walk straight back into Fulham's first 11. I also thought so. Upon rejoining the club in late January, we know his contract moved. However, Fulham manager Marco Silva has kept Bassey on the bench or limited him to late substitution appearances in recent Premier League matches, including against Brighton and Manchester United. The former Rangers and Ajax man was either used or just minutes off the bench. Now, Marco Silva attributed the decision. This is the coach. He can't fault him. Sometimes this is the disadvantage of a Nations Cup being played at club level football time. Marco Silva has now attributed that the decision to the strong form of replacement, talking about George Krensa, who stepped in seamlessly during Bassey's absence and has helped Fulham maintain a solid defensive performance. Krensa has stepped in. Silva explained this in a recent press conference, and he said it's a competition, and Krensa knows the pro he's up against. So it's more like Marco Silva respects him, but he knows you just cannot come back and get into the team, because even when you're away, while you are away, we had a very decent play with this young lad. So you have to fight for your shirt. It will not be a plug and play like we thought it would be. Now, former Super Eagles forward Victor Weber suggested fatigue from the congested schedule and then international duty may also be a factor, noting that the players sometimes need a breather after major tournaments. So we don't know what is on ground, but Nigerian supporters have taken to social media to express frustration, questioning why one of the Nigerian side, why one of the country's most consistent defender is being sidelined despite his AFCON heroics. Now we talk about Pojo Media. Let's quote them on the show. He said, Bassey starts on the bench again for Fulham. Make Marco Silva not keep the juice where he come from AFCON. Another one says, Pamela Taye, when as far as saying, Bassey is no longer starting for Fulham just because he went to AFCON. Imagine the best defender of a tournament still benched by a club like Fulham. Why Bassey not starting for Fulham all of a sudden? Why isn't he asking? And at first, he said, I thought it was because of fatigue from AFCON, but it's been 3 games in a row now. It's been games now where we've seen Quensa now better than him. Who is going on, Nigerian fans are really not happy about this. So, looking at the scenario, you understand that everybody wants to see Bassey continue with the Fulham side. But you need to know Bassey joined Fulham in 2024 and has been near ever-present figure in the starting lineup before the AFCON. So why are we saying this? But let me explain something, right? Let me explain this so people can understand. Let me explain it. I am not a coach. I'm not a football coach, but because of the job, sometimes we know how this works. We've seen Liam Rosinio rotate games for Cole Palmer in Chelsea. Since he became the manager, aside recent games where Palmer has started, last week he went on the ball, hat-trick, 2 penalties and then 1 finish, almost like a screamer, but no screamer inside the box, But it's about manager trying to figure who gets a start. We can't put pressure on Marco Silva. We cannot do that. I understand how Nigerian fans are feeling at this point. They want to see, their best defender up his game, continue his game. I think against Man United, where Fernandes got the assist, was quite rusty. We want to see a Bassey own up. But let's allow the manager do what he wants. Let him decide how he wants his gameplay to go. You cannot pressure the manager. He feels Quensa is good enough to go, so why not? Let him continue the job till Bassey gets this opportunity, and then hopefully he takes it. That's how foreign football used to be. Sometimes it's not everybody that can be like Baleba. You just come and you're walking to the team. Not everybody will be like, what's the name? Lookman, who came from the Atalanta now at Atletico de Madrid. So it's not like a plug and play. Basically for African players, you must be a star player. But we know Bassey is. But with Quensa, then we have to wait to know if Bassey will ever get his shirt playing time wise. But also on the show, let's talk about this one. This is a new development. We were seeing former Super Eagles and Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper Daniel Akpeyi, who was the AFCON pundit for reporting side South Africa, has opened up his own coaching internship. That's an ongoing coaching internship in South Africa as he begins a new chapter in his football career. Akpeyi, who officially announced his retirement from professional football back in December 2025, following his exit from Marumo Gallants, is currently undergoing a coaching internship with Premier Soccer side, talking about PSL side TS Galaxy. The former Nigerian international revealed that the internship is a compulsory requirement for his progression from the CAF C coaching license to the CAF B license, which he is preparing to undertake. Having already completed his CAF C license, Akpeyi explained that CAF regulation mandate an internship with a professional club before, candidates can be admitted into the CAF B license program, a requirement that led to his placement at TX Galaxy. Now, coming from Akpeyi, the man you have, he said, gratitude to the club's leadership and technical crew for the opportunity. I think, firstly, I am grateful to the team, TX Galaxy, and also most especially to the chairman of the team, Mr. Tim Sukazi, for availing me the privilege of doing my internship with the team on short notice. That's coming from Akpeyi. He said, I'm grateful to the head coach, Adam Beganovic, the assistant and staff members for making the environment conducive for me to be able to do my internship. He further clarified that the internship is part of the CAF C structured coaching pathway. He said, when you do your C license, which you have done, before you do your B license, you are required to do an internship with a professional team to provide and give you some days before you can be granted access to the CAF B license. So I had to do my internship so that I can be granted access to do my CAF B license. Akpeyi also revealed that while the current internship covers general coaching duties, his long-term focus will be goalkeeping development it's not particularly on the goalkeeping department, it's overall coaching. But I'm going to be moving to the goalkeeping department during my B license. For now, it's just a general coaching. So good to see that the former Super Eagles goalkeeper has rightly concluded the statement and saying he is happy and is feeling very special. So congratulations to Akpe. This is the development we've been talking about from people. This is what we want to see them do. This is how far we want to see our players go. You go back and make things right. Tomorrow, I won't be surprised in years to come, future time, if Akpe wants to be the coach of the senior national team, Nigeria Super Eagles, or if he wants to be the head coach for the goalkeeper department, he would not be wrong. And shout out to also TS Galaxy for giving the opportunity also to be doing this internship out there just to get a CAF B license, which is pivotal and very, very important to Daniel Akpe. But we go on a quick break. When we return, guess what? We'll tell the world what's happening in the boxing world. We'll tell about the Formula One, golf stories, tennis, and also the basketball world. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Yes, welcome back. You're still watching Voice of Television, Lagos, Nigeria. Let's talk about the boxing world. Fabio Wardley's team have held talks about a potential WBO World Heavyweight title defense against Donald Dubois. WBO champion Wardley is also considering option for his first title defense, and Donald Dubois, ranked at number 4 by the WBO, is on a short list of possible opponents. Kekovic and also Deng Zhang are other 2 available contenders inside the WBO top 15. But terms could not be agreed between Wardley and fellow Brit Derek Chisora for a fight. Wardley manager Mike Offo told reports Fabio wanted to fight Alexander Usyk after beating Joseph Parker, but he chose to pursue Deontay Wilder instead. Now the fight has fallen through. Fabio wants a unification fight with Usyk for all the belts, which we'll be seeing happen soon. But also we are pursuing a fight with Chisora or Wilder for April 4th. But he said, but they took a refuge in those very ones. So this is going to be all British battle, and we cannot wait to go and understand how this goes. Also, you need to know Wardley was crowned as the new WBO champion after Alexander Usyk relinquished the belt instead of making a mandatory WBO title defense against a beaten Brit. The Ipswich fighter had previously become the WBO interim champion after a stunning 11th round stoppage victory over Joseph Parker at the O2 Arena in October. Donald Dubois recently returned to former trainer Don Charles as he plans to get his career back on track following a knockout loss to Usyk in their July rematch at Wembley Stadium. Still talking about boxing now, let's talk about this one. This is Terence Crawford, and Crawford, they call him. It's a big one to know that following his retirement, Terence Crawford has been placed into many fans' lists as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighter since the return and since the turn of the millennium. Now, Paul has revealed he believes he's outperformed Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez back in September in a win that will be referenced for generations, becoming boxing's second straight divisional undisputed world champion, 87 years after Henry Armstrong became the first. Off the back of the career best triumph, Crawford opted to walk away from the sport whilst he was sat atop it, hanging up the gloves with both an undefeated record after 42 fights and the status of being a 5th division world champion. Reflecting upon his time in the ring, Crawford told the Pivot podcast on his pride as becoming the undisputed superweight and lighterweight champion back in 2017 and why he feels he surpassed Mayweather and Jones Jr. The undisputed super middleweight title has since become fragmented, with Jose Armando Resendiz picking up the WBA strap and also Christian Billy being elevated to the full WBC champion. Meanwhile, Hamza Shiraz is also expected to take on 38-year-old Alan Bejic in a clash for the WBO super middleweight title, while Ulises Iglesias is set to challenge for the vacant RBF title against the unnamed opponent. Now, feel like a boxing story looks very long? Let's talk about this one. Tyson Fury has sent a heartfelt message to Deontay Wilder. People are saying it's a cheating story. Tyson Fury has sent an olive branch to Deontay Wilder after the American accused him of cheating in their first 2 fights. Deontay Wilder has been very vocal during the UK trip to promote his April 4 fight with Derek Chisora. The bronze bomber has once again accused his heavyweight rival Tyson Fury of cheating against him, alleging that he tampered with his glove in the rematch, and then in their 2018 first fight, he went all and referee talked about Jack Reese for giving Tyson a long cut due to a white supremacy amongst with other outlandish claims. The 40-year-old American even clashed with Talk Sports reporter Simon Jordan over racism accusation, stating that no one believes he claims becomes the color of his skin. When Jordan challenged him on the wing, Wilder exploded and had to be back by security before stunning out of the very interview. But from Deontay Wilder, he said, he is the biggest cheater in boxing history. If you look at him, you will see it. And if I'm lying, then please tell him to sue me for defamation of character so I can have the proof. And that statement, is being out there because Deontay Wilder also said, all I can't wait is because of a black man with dark skin, it's hard to believe me and believe a white man. So, well, it sounds like a racial talk or racial abuse talk. I don't know, but he's been saying it from the onset. Deontay Wilder has been talking like he's been everywhere. He's been on radio. He's walked out of TV stations. Prior to interviews. He's not really feeling happy with what's going on. He's been talking. It's more like no one is giving him a listening ear, and he's on the opinion. He opines that maybe because of my skin color, maybe because I'm black, that's why no one believes me. They are now believing, Tyson Fury. He said, so it's what it is and how I speak. I speak from the truth and from my heart. That's why a lot of people don't want me in this business. Well, you need to know, Wilder fights Chisora on April 4th on the O2 Arena, and that'll be a very big fight, a big bout in London. We cannot wait to see how that turns out to go. Now, wrapping up on the show today, let's talk about Formula One, where we've seen former Formula One driver Riccardo Patrese. He has backed Max Verstappen to master the complicated new power unit regulation. And then Formula One new regulation for the upcoming season has been touted as the biggest in the championship history, with much of the technology having been overhauled. This is largely due to the 50-50 split between electrical power and internal combustion, which has resulted in a major challenge in how the cars are driven. Boost mode and also overtake mode are just two of the new features to be seen in 2026, resulting in more drivers' involvement on the steering wheel to maximize performance and also strategize. Patrese is not a fan of all the changes, but believes they will suit Max Verstappen best, given how familiar he is with changing settings on a steering wheel in a simulator, as well as his natural ability to adapt in the game. Now, from Formula One, we tell another one again is this Cadillac story. Cadillac is entering Formula One with a big brand swagger and a long-term plan to raise American-made engines by the end of the decade. In the short term, expectations are brutally realistic, but this is still a team intent of making noise from day one. That intent will be made clear when Cadillac unveils the livery of its Formula One commercial on Sunday, and that's about Formula One. Now, also, we should tell you this headline just as it goes. This is tennis. Nigeria tennis is really having a good time because we're seeing Nigeria sweeping the best they can in Liga Davis Cup tie, and I'm happy to celebrate this ones because Nigeria doubles pair Canis Abwa and Michael Emmanuel defeated the best they can Dennis Instom and also Kumyong Sultanov 7-6-6-4 at the RTL Davis Cup tie in Liga. The closely fought encounter saw the Nigerians edge a tie-break first set before asserting control in the second to win in a straight set. The victory boosted Nigeria's Davis Cup campaign and drew loud cheers from home supporters at the Lagos venue. In singles action, Daniel Adeleye beat Bassey Kumunyafsuna of 6-3, 6-4 in a reverse single rematch. And then Adeleye also delivered a confident display, breaking serve at crucial moment to dominate both sets and secure another point for Nigeria. The result further lifted the team's morale and then strengthened Nigeria's position on the tie. Speaking to report, Nigeria Tennis Federation NTF President Victor Oche described the success as a collective national achievement. And that's the words of Oche. And also, tennis in European Saint says this is about Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz won his 7th Grand Slam title by defeating Novak Djokovic in the Australian Open, and now many think the Spaniard could win more majors than his Serbian rival. For years now, many thought Djokovic's 24th Class champion victory would be untenable, but Alcaraz now, 7 before turning 23, has given the world number 1 plenty of time to make that very history. Moving on, Alcaraz recalled both John Jung's Grand Slam record by winning 7 majors at the age of 22 at the Australian Open, but following Alcaraz's monumental victory in Melbourne, our readers have shared their own opinion. They've said a lot about this one, and they are saying it's just what it is. And also, another headline in tennis says Amanda Anisimova opens up about the preferred surface she wants on the court. We should be calling it a close right now on the show, but we'll not be wrong to tell you this one where we're seeing women tennis fall to Yali in EACC Indoor Champion with a 4-love race to power on that very one. And then the PGA Tour headline says Falconets Open disruption, controversial YouTuber Jack Doherty banned from PGA Tour event. And lastly, we tell you this one. What is that? We should have told you. We'll tell them all why Oakley and Meta see golf as a perfect sport for smart sunglasses. But thank you so much. We'll see how that goes, because golf's such popularity over the few days and few years is being talked about. So we'll wait to know if that outdoor participation would be key by the Meta phase. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We'll be doing this again hopefully tomorrow, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. We have the media news coming up, and that will be for 12. And do well to join the guys, 5 p.m. Jerry Apoloi, and then Afiso Goodbye Job will be here to take you through everything football. Locker room is the time. Thank you so much. It's still morning. I could say good morning. When the time is afternoon, good afternoon. Do have yourself a beautiful day. Stay safe.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not a spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is Africa News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
When you say, make Nigeria no happen to you, me self go say, make you no happen to Nigeria.
You dey bypass your light meter. You dey jump queue.
Yet, you dey wait make Naija change for you. My brother, my sister, you self change.
Oh yeah. See that Naija pikin wey pack the thing wey block gutter wey dey cause flood.
Abba, Naija pikin, make we dey care for our environment.
Gen Z is no one work. Now quick cash them defined.
Just like that, boys don't turn Pablo. And girls?
Hablets.
Waiting they happen. We dey argue online, spread fake news with our full chest, divide ourselves on top religion, tribe, and politics matter.
But we go dey shout, no unity for Naija.
My brother, my sister, unity begins with you.
Someone japa. Nobody wants stay. But who go fix Naija if no be you?
You go stay.
Naija dey wait for us same way we dey wait for Naija. That's why National Orientation Agency don bring this better ogbonge plan wey go change the game. That na 7 for 7 agenda. 7 promises from leaders and 7 citizen codes.
Equality, democracy, entrepreneurship, employment, peace and security, inclusivity, justice, meritocracy. Now the Naija promises.
But without our own discipline, duty of care and tolerance, respect and true leadership, transparency we all need, environmental awareness, resilience in no go walk.
7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija. Leave bribery, wash your hands, come up from mago ways. Talk true when you see security concern now all of us.
No dey complain about Naija, complaining no dey change our mood. If you be true Nigerian, if you be ogbonge Naija, if we want better tomorrow, now we go make am work today.
7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers. Oh, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers. Oh, 7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija.
If we be true Nigerians, we go rise hand in hand, uphold the 7 for 7 agenda for Naija, our home, our pride, and our strength.
Powered by National Orientation Agency. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
and scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science.